recording. Niall.
Gideon.
This is a podcast. Welcome to MPO Quarantine Catch Up. Last episode, we talked about Heater Beater. And the weird emails we got from him, who he was, and we discovered at the end of that episode that the photos he was using for his website. Listen to that episode before you listen to this one, because there's some context on Heater. And it's a good episode. I nearly just choked just on words, and I really freaked out because I was about to just die on a podcast.
Funny.
So we discovered that the photos that were being used for that website were of a comedian called Nick Capper. And so we ended the last episode tweeting at him, asking if he knew what it was about. And we were like, okay, we probably won't get a reply for next episode. But we did. So we've got a response from Nick Capper. So we're going to go more in depth into this situation. And then later on in the episode, we've got some other fun stuff to talk about. But he said he has no idea who it is. He just said no idea.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, thanks for the response. As far as we can tell, he got the name Heater Beater from a story that Carl Chandler told in an old Little Dum Dum Club episode. He set up a website for it and everything. It's really weird. So I sent him the website and he just replied, haha, this is fucked. I'll have to listen to the story. So basically where we're at the moment is I've got a theory.
Oh.
Do you guys want to hear my
We've been waiting to hear this.
Yeah, of course. Go on.
Because I also discovered in the last episode that one of the hosts of the Little Dum Dum Club does a podcast that I listen to at the moment called Filthy Casuals. So I went and listened to the episode of Little Dum Dum Club where they talk about Heater Beater, and it's got literally nothing to do with that Heater Beater. It's a totally different guy. It doesn't fit into our story at all.
Nothing to do with the woman on the website.
Yeah, he was some cricketer, and it'd be weird if it did match up because then there'd be two people on this podcast who look like
guy who that woman is.
Yeah,
we need to. Yeah. We should probably ask Kappa what that's about. But
People should how pale I look in this lighting as well. This is horrible.
People can't see this on the podcast.
My lighting's so bad.
My lighting's great. I think my lighting's perfect.
Shut up,
So,
nobody
but anyway,
else.
no one cares about this. This is a podcast. You guys don't get this. But I realized that I realized that Little Dum Dum Club, it's a podcast that I used to listen to a year ago or a year and a half ago, back late 2018, early 2019. And I was quite active in the Facebook group for this podcast, which Nick Capper also posted the website in and was talking about it. So this blew me away because it's such a weird coincidence that I knew this podcast, I knew this guy, but this website comes back a year later, and I have no idea. I don't remember any of it. So here's my theory.
Okay.
What I think, and also I just want to say, I got 0 hours of sleep last night, so I've had to write all this down in the notes on my phone so I don't forget where my train of thought is going.
Are you saying you stayed up at night just dreaming of Heater Beater?
Oh, of course. Who doesn't? But what I think has happened is someone happened to recognize me from the Facebook group, and so they were scrolling through GoFundMe or something, and what it does, if there's a new campaign, it'll recommend it to someone. So because I was active in that group, I reckon it's they've seen that.
Have you had a look in that group for people called William Bauman?
No, I haven't. But I probably should. But what I think they've done is they've seen me and gone, oh, he knows Little Dum Dum Club. I'm going to send them an email with a bunch of Dum Dum Club references to see if they get it, and assuming that I'd understand them. But because it's been so long since I listened to it, I didn't understand. And so I think the giveaway should have been the website and the photos of Nick Capper because he's a regular on the show. But because I'd only listened to the audio and I'd never seen a video, I didn't know what he looked like. So
how come do you reckon these found it through that GoFundMe then?
I don't know. I think it would have been just an automatic recommendation. I genuinely don't know.
He emailed me first.
Yeah, but I think that was because yours is just the email that was connected to it.
Yeah.
But this is
it's cool.
This is the most plausible explanation I could come up with, and it relies purely on coincidences.
I think our options are either that or some random guys just bored in lockdown.
Yeah.
Trying to do that.
Nick Capper's long lost twin. Who goes by Heater Beater.
Twin.
Yeah, it is actually him in the photos.
Oh, that's sick. That's our mythology. But Look, I think the end goal for this podcast is to get Nick Capper on and talk in detail. He's a famous Australian comedian. He's doing comedy galas. He's massive, and we want him on this show that we're one episode into.
It's ambitious.
Yes.
I reckon we could. So, like, next step, Nick Capper. One after that, Queen Lizzie.
Of course. Obama.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at here. Do you guys have like any further thoughts on that at all?
I think it's just a weird coincidence. And
I think it's just some weird bloke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Or woman. You don't know.
Yeah. It's 2020.
There is no way of knowing who William Belmont, what gender that person could be.
He could be a fake name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
Persona.
name could be like Velma, for all we know.
Did you just watch Scooby-Doo earlier and that's
Could be, but I doubt it.
Is that genuinely true?
My little sister was watching it.
That's incredible. That's so good. But yeah, we'll keep you updated on that story because I think that's the mythology for this show. But that's my theory is that he's recognised me from the Facebook group, happened to see the GoFundMe and gone, oh, he knows Dum Dum Club. I'm going to send an email with just Dum Dum Club references. And then when we didn't understand it, and it's sort of gone over us, and also because I was receiving the email through you, someone who doesn't know what it is, like I think that blurred the lines a little bit. And so when they realised we didn't know, they've just gone, okay, I'm just gonna fuck with them, and sort of done that. I don't know. There's no way of knowing.
Essentially, Gideon fucked it up.
I think
he ruined
Gideon
it.
fucked it.
Been abused here.
Oh, it could have been a funny Gideon. You just had to ruin it, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
I'm still sad that Heater Beater isn't real. Like, I wish that was a real person. Like,
I was really hoping it was a real guy.
As creepy as it was, like, I'm so upset that a human being's brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Oh, sad times, guys. Well, actually, no. Someone's brain does work that way, just not that.
Yeah.
Heater Beater.
A mystery. Someone out there is a comedic genius who created that about section. This is turning into like a true crime serial podcast.
Yeah.
Madeleine McCann on a computer in Argentina.
And the podcast there.
Oops.
But
no, you can put that in.
Speaking of Maddie McCann, have you seen the Madeleine McCann Netflix series?
No, I
actually haven't. I started watching it and
I watched the first episode. It's boring as shit. And like that's an interesting story as well, but I just couldn't get into that show.
Yeah, it's not that interesting.
I didn't expect that to come out of you. I was going to be like, it's really insightful. It's really like interesting. No, it's just boring as fuck.
It is.
He's not wrong.
There was all these like weird like maps of the host. Yeah. Speaking of Netflix, let's do our famous segment. What have we been watching on Netflix this week?
I'm going to level with you. It's the exact same as last week, except I've started rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Also,
well,
season 6 is really good.
Have you both finished season 6 now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It.
Are you watching season 7?
I mean, when it goes on, I will.
Yeah.
But
it's on like TV right now. Like it's coming out every week.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not really going to wait.
I've got to just try and watch season 6 before it goes off.
I'm so into it. I finished, like, literally, right, about maybe 16 hours ago, I was still, like, 20 minutes into Tiger King, and I have finished it. Like, I watched the whole thing.
You messaged me at 7 a.m. and went, Dylan, I finished it. I did it.
I haven't slept. Like, that's
so, Niall, you know your favourite reality show, Love is Blind?
Yes.
Jack Mates. He's made a video.
Yeah, no, I saw that video. And, like, you can't even, like, that's a decent video. Because that's the reason I'm not going to say I love the show, but that's the reason I liked the show. That's the reason I liked the show, because it's so dumb. Like, it's
you talk about it like you love it. You really do.
I love it because it's of how dumb it is. But there's like, I think there's also
you're hooked, aren't you?
You're really putting me under pressure here. There's this like element of it that I'm like, oh, this is like interesting. It's like people watching.
Oh no, there's this Netflix dating show.
You're not a grandma in a supermarket.
But it's like there's like this.
Look out the Tesco window.
There's like this Australian like Canadian love show where like the one rule is they can't have sex or kiss, and it's like a dating show.
It's called Christianity, Dylan. That's what that is. You've just been reading the Bible.
I watched the little trailer for it and it looks so dodgy. It's like, no.
That seems so weird, them just putting up like a boundary between them at all points.
Like,
Just one guy following them round, making sure they're not breaking any
There's
rules.
just a camera guy
Kissing and
like,
the producers
are
will
you-
run in.
are you kissing?
It's like a year 4 relationship. Like,
No holding hands or you'll have cooties.
oh, that's incredible. But once you finish Tiger King Gideon, we've got to do a full breakdown on that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, speed up, Gideon.
we've
What I
got
do
some
know
stuff
from
to
what I've
say.
watched so far is that Carol Baskin killed her husband.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly, yeah. But-
Allegedly.
Also, part of me watching that is like, what if she didn't? Because like, yes, it's sketchy, but like one of the last things he was reported as saying is like, wasn't it along the lines of, if I pull this off, it'll be like the slyest thing I've ever done. Like,
Yeah.
what are people supposed to make of that? Like,
I
if someone says that like a day before disappearing,
I
kind
I
of-
would feel a bit bad for her if I wasn't like 99% sure that she'd done
She
it.
had. Like,
Yeah.
if she hasn't, that really must suck, everyone being like, oh, you killed him.
If it was like a 50-50, I would feel really bad for her, but
what I found really rich though was Joe Exotic, and I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't finished it. But towards
Yeah.
the end, he says something along the lines of, "Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty." Carol Baskin killing her husband was never proven, and yet he's on all these broadcasts saying like, "Oh yeah, it's true, whatever." So like, live by your own mantra. Like, I'm fine with you saying that she killed her husband because a lot of it points that she does. But if you're gonna go out and complain that you're not given a fair trial and everyone's calling you this and that before anything's been proven, grow up. You did the same thing. But yeah, there's some messed up shit in that show that we'll talk about. I watched something called The Imagineering Story on Disney Plus.
I haven't got Disney Plus.
Only it's
How
worth
could
it. I reckon it's worth it just for The Simpsons alone. Like 30
Honestly.
seasons of The Simpsons.
It's literally on
£6 a month. Are you
TV
kidding me?
24/7.
Yeah, but you can't
Yeah,
just
it
watch
is.
it in any order. You can't just like jump onto the TV and be like, okay, I want to watch Who Shot Mr. Burns. You don't know how long I had to wait for that episode to be on TV again. Just waiting for them to cycle through the entire 30 seasons for that one episode to be on again.
I'm just imagining you like sat in front of your TV.
Sat in front of
just,
the
like,
TV for a year.
It's been like
Waiting for
it's been
Kill Mr.
40
Burns.
months.
Just like chopsticks prying open my eyes.
Yeah.
His mum has to force feed him every day.
It finally comes on and you just collapse.
It's such a good episode. It's one of the best TV things ever made.
And it predicts the future. That's the weird thing with
Mm.
Simpsons.
The Simpsons in general.
It's
Yeah.
big coincidences all the time. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
what's that then?
yeah.
It's quite creepy.
There is some weird stuff, but also a lot of what you see of like the Simpsons predicted coronavirus, they didn't. People are just
That's
working backwards.
Such a
from
good
it.
segue, Niall, and you cut me off.
Sorry, go on.
Talking of creepy. We've got some
Jesus
scary
Christ.
stories.
Boys, we've got some spooks to talk about today.
We got some spook.
Can we say that? Is that a thing?
Spooks.
Because spook was like a racist term in the 50s.
It was?
Was it?
Yeah. That's
Ooh.
why you can't have spook as your name on Kahoot.
They're spooksters then.
It's in Back to the Future. But
Peace story.
They're
we got some
creepos.
creepy stories. So we've got 3 creepy stories here. 2 of them are real recorded spooky stories from history. One of them is from the mind of Niall Edwards, myself. So
So
basically,
go.
we've each got 1 story each to read out. 2 of them are real, 1 of them I've written, and Gideon and Dylan have to guess which one it is that I've written. So, I just want to preface this by saying the 2 real ones are from a book called The Mysteries of the Unexplained, which is read every week on a podcast called Ooh Spooky. And so, like, the 2 stories from this, it was just me listening to that podcast and writing them down as they read them out. But so check out that podcast. Without that podcast, this episode couldn't be happening. So thank
That's
you
pretty cool.
to Adam, Luca, and Pete over at Ooh Spooky. But Dylan, do you want to jump in with the first story?
I would love to.
I'm
Okay.
already putting you on the spot here. Because also
I'm
yours
so
is the
excited.
longest.
Yeah, this is going to be like first school flashback. So they'd be like, Dylan, can you read Hansel and Gretel to everyone? And you'd be like,
Popcorn.
No.
reading.
Jared, can you read page 19 for the class? No, I cannot. What up? I'm Jared. I'm 19. I've never learned how to fucking read.
When is this
Okay.
podcast just going to turn into us quoting vines? Or more specifically,
I
you
already
2
have.
quoting vines and me just looking disappointed.
You're like a disappointed father. You've just got two children that are just spouting like
Hey.
utter BS.
Yeah.
I'm the world's father. Oh, I wish I hadn't said that.
So- yeah, 'cause- okay, anyways.
Come on, Dylan.
Anyways, this one is called the Two-Faced Statue. In Argentina in 1978, two young girls reported that a nearby statue had spoken to them. God, this is long.
That's what she bloody said.
Okay, but
Sorry.
Shut up.
Niall, shut up.
Shut up.
Sorry.
I'm trying to read. It was as I was like you in school that made it impossible to read.
Just heckling.
Okay. Okay. We're reporting it to a local Sacado. I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
that
what-
word's supposed to be.
The first girl said that the figure told them to tell everyone to rejoice, celebrate, and party in the street, as
That
they
doesn't
were all
sound too creepy.
pure and will be accepted into heaven. Whilst the other girl said she had heard something different. The second girl explained that the statue told everyone to hide away. His sign in shame is they had all sinned and would be sent straight to hell.
Yeah, that's sort of
Hundreds
creepy.
gathered round the statue, half hearing the message of the first girl, half hearing the message of the second. It was discovered years later that all those who had heard the second message went to die in suspicious circumstances.
It's like the Final Destination movies.
It totally is. In 2016, the statue that had been preserved mysteriously caught fire. It could reportedly be heard whispering the names of those recorded to have heard the second message. Jesus Christ, why was that so long?
That is some spooky stuff right there.
Can I just say,
Um,
straight away, I'm feeling like mine's going to be the one from from the mind of Niall, because yours has got a proper spooky name, like the Two-Faced Statue. Do you want to know what mine's called?
What's it called?
Falling Baby.
Trust me, it's a good one.
Okay, right.
I don't think this is going to be tough to guess.
This is Falling Baby. Joseph Figlock was walking down a street in Detroit in the 1930s when a baby fell on him from a high window. A year later, the same baby fell on him again from the same window. Figlock and the baby both survived. There
How
are a lot of issues I
spooky.
have with this story.
Yeah, go on.
First off, who, after having their child jump out of a window, then it's going to leave that window open again?
And a year
How is
later, and
that
it's
baby
still a baby.
surviving?
Well,
Is
first of
that
all, how's it
baby
still
alive?
surviving? A year later, it's still a baby. Like, that's a toddler at that point.
Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. I think
that's
that's the one from the mind of Niall.
Well, we can't make any
No.
decisions until you read the final
Yeah.
story.
Oh dear.
Right, so, right, mine's on a Google.
It can't
Doc,
have a
so
worse
I'll
name than
this
Falling
one.
Baby, can it?
This one is called, this one, wow. This one is called Burning Brothers.
Oh, great.
Better than Falling Baby. Still better than Falling Baby.
True.
A mysterious, though not spontaneous, case of human combustion was reported by Dr. D. Bruz in the Edinburgh Medical and Surgical Journal. In March 1829, the subject's hands burst into blue flames when he attempted to help his brother, whose clothes were on fire. Sorry, hang on. The story isn't done yet, but I just want to jump in here and say they think this is spooky because someone was on fire and someone went over and touched the person who was on fire and then got scared that they were then on fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's not creepy. That's just very funny.
That's a cautionary
it's
tale. That's
also
a
just
don't
how
touch
things
fire.
Anyway, the final sentence of this story is, the flames continued for several hours to leap up and flicker over the hands, and only constant submersion in water finally extinguished them. What were they trying before?
Right, this sounds like one of those dumbass science stories. Like, kids, don't touch the fire, because you'll be on fire. And then what will we do then?
Yeah, I mean, the only one of these that, if we were sat around a campfire saying scary stories, the only one of these that would have maybe creeped me out was Dylan's.
Yeah, because
There are
like
two
got this
that could very realistically have been made by me.
You've
Yeah.
got two girls who are like, oh, we have a statue and it's like half good, half bad. That sounds legit. I'd believe that.
The thing is, Niall's got a dark sense of humour. I think
I don't
if he
think
was trying to
Falling
think of a
Baby's one.
creepy story, a fake creepy story, the first thing he would think was killing children.
Yeah, but
Would it really?
I swear I've heard that story before though.
It does ring a bell. I know what you mean.
I
It does
swear
ring a
I've
bell.
heard one about a man that like a baby had fallen, they'd catched it, saved his
Yeah.
life, and then a year later had done the same thing. I think I've heard that before. I'm looking at Niall's face and he looks really
I
confused.
don't have a poker face, so I'm just trying to like
face the wall.
I'm trying to do like long division in my head just to try and like keep my face somewhat.
Niall, face the
I don't
wall.
know.
Because no one will hear me on mic.
I don't.
I think
don't
Falling
think
Baby's
it's-
real.
Mike called
I
it
think it's
long
real.
enough for me
I
to
hope
this.
Falling Baby's real. I hope it's real.
I don't think with his 0 hours of sleep, Niall would have had the imagination at that point to come up with the two-faced statue.
Yeah, because look how long this is. This is like.
Yeah.
Again,
So
it's an
long.
audio podcast.
I'm gonna
Dylan.
say.
Yeah. It's that long text here.
I'm gonna say Fire Hands is the fake one.
But
Yeah,
you
I don't
Burning
think.
Brothers is fake.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I can reveal that you are incorrect. The
We're
one,
incorrect.
the one that I made up
No.
was Two-Faced Statue. That was the one that I made up on 0 hours sleep at 8 a.m.
That's quite good, to be fair.
That is
I
pretty
was
good.
proud of it.
What does sacerdote mean then?
It's Latin. No, it's Spanish for priest.
So you're telling me the priest said, "Yo, this statue be dangerous."
Yeah, because they all did religious shit back in the day, especially in Argentina. That's why I said it in Argentina, because it's a very Christian sort of thing. Because
Oh, geography.
you know those bots that will be like, oh, we fed it a Harry Potter novel and it gave us the new one or whatever.
Yeah.
That's basically what that is. Like, I've listened to all the episodes of the You Spooky podcast reading through that book, and I sort of just like took elements from every single story and put them together. So there's always some religious bullshit. There's always a statue that does a weird thing.
Yeah.
There's always two young Catholic girls.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's...
Wait. But this means Falling Baby is real.
And Burning Brothers, which I find
No.
even more incredible.
The
Bro,
two
that's
dumbest
ridiculous.
stories are real.
Yeah, but like, so like genuinely, a real report in a medical and surgical journal in 1829 was confused that when someone touched fire, they got set on fire. And then it says, after multiple hours, only constant submersion in water finally extinguished them. I'll just say it again. What did they try before?
Do you think they try to put more fire on it to see if like, that
Yes.
would stop the fire?
Fire
Put a bit
with
of gasoline in
Fire.
the water.
Can't do
They're
it.
like, why isn't the salt working, guys?
Oh, if they drink a lot of alcohol, maybe it'll just go
It'll
away.
work. Pour the alcohol on.
The fire
Why
out.
has it got worse?
Put alcoholic hand wash on it. It'll work. It'll work. We got this.
That's how we defeat coronavirus. Wash your hands, kids.
Absolutely. Just a
Set
big
your hands
barrel
on fire.
of beer and stick
Don't
your hand.
set your
Set
hands on
yourself
fire.
on fire and you will
Don't
not die
set
of
yourself on
coronavirus.
fire.
You will
Well, no,
die
if you set
third
yourself,
degree burn.
if you set yourself on fire, all
Ah.
the bacteria will die. So that's actually a good
Yeah,
thing.
but you will die as a
Set
result.
yourself on fire, guys. That's my.
Good
That's
idea, good
what
idea.
I'm
Don't do
saying.
that.
That's my take.
Yeah, just don't.
Big sister Dylan says, "Don't do that. That's a really bad idea."
I'm the
Thanks,
youngest one
Mr.
here,
Dylan.
so listen to me.
I'm the oldest one here. I get all the rules.
I reckon we're done here.
Who's doing next week's though?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna try and do this every episode. Who wants to do next week's spooky stories?
I can do next week.
Okay.
Go on,
Gideon.
Gideon. Let's see. So you've got to
They
find
best-
two real
They
ones.
have, yeah.
And
one
It's
fake.
their time.
I feel like this is going to be very easy because I feel
I'm
like
gonna
you're
make
very
it
predictable.
very, very long with a lot of detail.
Have really hard words to pronounce.
It's going to be a 3-hour
Yeah.
long podcast.
It'll be a lot of vocab.
Oh.
But yeah, thank you for thank you for tuning into this episode of MTO. Oh, what's this called again? Quarantine
Quarantine
Catch Up.
Catch
There
up.
you go. Good
Uh,
work. Baby steps, baby steps.
All our social medias in the description if you want to check that out. We'll see you in a bit, guys. I'm so out of energy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.